Hello everyone, this is our representation in chapter 10 focusing entrepreneurship. I'm Chung and now I will come to the first learning object, the context of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is the process of starting new businesses, generally in response to opportunities by changing, revolutionizing, transforming, or introducing new products or services. For example, Nancy Liu, the founder of startup Nanoli Bioscience, recognized the challenges of refrigerating toxins. So the company innovates and distributes polymers allowing vaccines to be stored with their refrigerations. This provides life-saving vaccinations for preventable disease. Now let's distinguish the two entrepreneurial ventures and small businesses. Entrepreneurial ventures are organizations that pursue opportunities and are characterized by innovative practices. A small business is one that is independently owned, operated, and financed, have less than 100 employees, doesn't necessarily engage in any new or innovative practices. About the goal, growth, and profitability and the entrepreneurial ventures main goal, while small business remain the full goals and had relatively little impact on its industry. Next, I will compare entrepreneurship and self-employment. First, let me define the term self-employment. Self-employment refers to the individuals who work for profit or fees in their own business professions, trade, or firm. Now let's consider three points of comparisons to have a better understand. First, entrepreneurs and self-employed individuals understand market needs. Serving market needs provide entrepreneurs and self-employed individuals the opportunity to provide services or products at a profit. But the products and services that entrepreneurs make are more revolutionary, while self-employed individuals make are not. Second, entrepreneurs may be self-employed or they become employees of their company. Third, tech requirements and certain laws require both entrepreneurs and self-employed individuals create a legally recognized organization. Why is entrepreneurship important? The importance of entrepreneurship to every industry sector in the United States is shown in three areas: innovations, which is the key aspect of entrepreneurial activities leading to technological changes and employment growth. The number of new startups is the most suitable measures we have of the important growth of entrepreneurship. The last area is job creation, which is important to the overall long-term economic health and communities, regions, and nations. And outside the United States, entrepreneurship also plays an important role for economic development. About the entrepreneurial process, entrepreneur must attract four key steps. The first is exploring the entrepreneurial concept, then identify opportunities and possible competitive advantages. The next step is starting the ventures. Once the ventures is up and running, the last step in process is managing the ventures. So what do entrepreneurs do? In general sense, entrepreneurs create something new and different. They just for respond to and explore the change. Then they research the feasibilities. After completing the activities, they move to launch and ventures, then base attention to manage it. Finally, the entrepreneurs must manage the venture's growth. Last, we will explore how important the social responsibilities and ethics issues to entrepreneurs. According to study of small companies, 95% of respondents believe that developing a positive reputation and relationship in communities where they do business is important for achieving business goals. In fact, some 70% of respondents admitted that they failed to consider communities' goals in their business plan.
Hello, my name is Wing. So when starting up a business, many planning issues may be unavoidable for the founders, so they have to identify opportunities and competitive advantage. A well-known management author named Peter Drucker listed out seven potential sources of opportunities. For example, the unexpected, the encounters, the process need, industry and market structures, demographics, changes in perception, and new knowledge. Because of the limitation of time, I will clarify the first and the second one. The unexpected is that the opportunities are found when the situations are not planned. For example, when COVID pandemic first appeared in Vietnam, the demand of face masks rapidly increased, so that led to the huge profit for the factories who produce it. Or the in contrast, is that there is a gap between what is and what should be in terms of performance. For example, Starbucks custom its cup size names so that they will have the they don't have the small coffee for that expensive price. Then, researching the venture's feasibilities. We start by generating the ideas through considering the limitation, the approaches, the breakthroughs or the changes. For example, we all familiar with the flat screen television, so Samsung came up with a curved screen television to widen the view after considering both advantages and disadvantages of it. Then we evaluate that ideas through personal and marketplace perspective. We also need to search for our competitors' information through these questions. What type of products or services are competitors offering? What are the product's strengths and weaknesses? How do they handle marketing, pricing, and distribution? And how do they attempt to do differently from other competitors? Let's take an example of Pepsi and Coca-Cola. They have been rivals for centuries, and they continuously seek information about each other to defeat each other in marketing, so they will prove that they are better than the other one.
Thank you, Wing. And now I will present about researching the venture's feasibility in financing. Because funds likely will be needed to start a venture, an entrepreneur must research the various financing options. And here are three options. First one is the venture capitalists. They are external equity financing provided by professionally managed pools of investor money. Another option is angel investor. They are private investors who offer financial backing to an entrepreneurial venture in return for equity in the venture. And last option is the initial public offering. It is the first public registration and the sale of company stock. Other possible financing options available to entrepreneurs are shown here. Entrepreneurs' personal resources, including personal savings, home equity, personal loans, or in financial institutions, it's from the banks, savings, and loan institutions, or some business development programs from the nation, the state, and even the local government. And some other unusual sources. They are from the television shows, the judge competition, or the crowdfunding, or in Vietnam is very famous for Shark Tank. Okay, planning is also important to entrepreneurial ventures. The most important thing in planning the venture is developing a business plan. Business plan is a written document that summarizes a business opportunity and defines and articulates how identified opportunity is to be seized and exploited. A good business plan is valuable. It covers 6 major areas: executive, summary, analysis of opportunity and the context, descriptions of the business, financial data and projections, lastly is the supporting documentation. The sharing economy refers to business arrangements. It creates many new and entrepreneurial opportunities that are based on people sharing something they own or providing a service for free.
Hello teacher, my name is Trump and now I will talk about the entrepreneur must address 5 organizing issues. To begin with the legal forms of organizations, there are 6 basic ways to organize an entrepreneurial venture as shows partnership, general partnership, limited liability partnership, C corporation, S corporation, and limited liability company. Secondly is organizational design and structure. Organizational design decisions in entrepreneurial venture revolve around the 6 key elements of organizational structure: work specialization, departmentalization, chain of command, span of control, amount of centralization, decentralization, and amount of formalization. Two issues of particular importance to entrepreneurs are employee recruitment and employee retention. They look for individuals who have a passion for the business, exceptionally capable and self-motivated, flexible, motor skill, and who have helped grow the entrepreneurial venture. And about employee retention, a unique and important employee retention issue this businessmen must deal with is compensation. Smaller entrepreneurial firms are more likely to view compensation from a total rewards perspective. And with its initial strength, we know that the context-facing business person is one of dynamic initial strengths. Often it is the entrepreneur who first recognizes the need for change and acts as a catalyst, coach, cheerleader, and strict change consultant. As you know, in today's dynamically is Cortez world of global competition. Organization must continually innovate new products and services if they want to compete successfully. And innovation is a key characteristic of entrepreneurial venture.
Thank you for Tom's part. My name is Sung. Now I will continue with the session of leading issues. As an entrepreneurial venture grows and people are brought on board, an entrepreneur takes on a new role, that of a leader. First, we will discuss some classic personalities in an entrepreneur. The list may include high energy level, persistent problem solver, high degree of initiative, ability to set goals, and moderate risk taker. But one of the most popular traits is the proactive personality. That describes individuals who are more prone to take action to influence their environments. This personality is likely to exhibit when he or she searches for opportunities and asks to take advantage of those opportunities. Moreover, it's very important to motivate employees through empowerment. When employees are empowered, they often display stronger work motivation, better work quality, higher job satisfaction, and lower turnover. If an entrepreneur implements employee empowerment properly, results can be impressive for the entrepreneurial venture. Next, we will move to talk about the role of entrepreneurs as a leader. They not only lead the venture, but also lead the employee work teams. The way an entrepreneur leads the venture should be much like the judge leader, bringing the best out of other individuals. The entrepreneur's ability to articulate an inspiring and attractive vision of the future is the key test of his or her leadership. Furthermore, developing and using team is necessary because technology and market demands are forcing entrepreneurs to make their products faster, cheaper, and better. Tapping into the collective wisdom of the venture's employees and empowering them to make decisions may just be one of the best ways to adapt to.
I will continue my group presentation with LL 10.5 control issues. So there are three ways to control the issues. The first, we have measuring growth, and there are three ways to measuring the growth. The first is planning. And the best growth strategy is a well-planned one. Rapid growth without planning can be disastrous. The plan should be flexible enough to exploit unexpected opportunities that arise. So the next step is organizing for growth. That's why we said before that the best growth strategy is a planned one. So when a venture is growing, it's important to create a positive, growth-oriented culture that enhances the opportunities to achieve success, both organizationally and individually. So the last step, we have the controlling for growth. So rapid growth or even slow growth do not eliminate the need to have effective controls in the company. So the next control issue is managing downturns. So significant challenges can come in managing the downturns. So the first, we have to recognize crisis situation. So another perspective of recognizing performance declines resolve around what is known as a void frog phenomenon, is which certainly declining situation are difficult to recognize. And the next step, we have dealing with downturns, declines, and crises. So the manager should think about it beforehand. It's important to have an up-to-date plan for covering crisis. So an entrepreneur wants to be prepared before having an emergency hit. So the last step in the control issue is the existing venture. So the entrepreneur might decide at some point that it's time to move on. So the first, we have the business valuation method, calculating the value of the firm based on the objective standards such as three categories: asset valuation, earning valuation, and cash flow valuation. So the last part, we have the other important considerations in existing venture. The process of existing the entrepreneurial venture should be approached carefully, and the entrepreneur wants to maximize the potential return. So that is the end of my group presentation. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.